All right. So welcome to my yoga room. I'm just going to give a little look around while hopefully a couple of folks join. So this is where I practice and this is where I teach from. There's a moon calendar and a very big, needing to be repotted monstera plant. So view out my window, my wall robes. And that's usually where my computer is when I'm teaching. So hello, I see that some folks have already joined, and the intention here is I'm going to lead a little bit of a pranayama practice. Hopefully a few other people hop on. So let me get myself set up here. All right, it's maybe a little bright. So again, if you haven't seen any of my posts today, my name is Chelsea Brown, and I'm doing some work on the Instagram, the Room to Breathe Instagram today, kind of to let the community get to know me better and also to share a bit about a workshop series that I have with Room to Breathe, which is called Breathe Easy, so very aligned to our values. Pranayama, or breath practice, breath control, is one of the limbs of yoga, and I have, through my practice and my study, come to understand it as a really important key to self-regulation. So my kind of hypothesis or theory of yoga is that it is a practice intended to regulate the nervous system, and a regulated nervous system leads kind of naturally, I suppose, to clarity of mind or peace of mind. So we can't always control what's happening outside of us, and that's okay. Abhyasa and Vairagya, right? The effort and ease in all things. So we can't always be in control of what's happening. Good. Hello, I see Adam Grossi's also joined. Hi, Adam. Just saying a couple of words and hopefully allowing some folks to join on. But what I was saying is that pranayama, or breath control, is a very direct pathway to being able to navigate our own nervous systems. And overall, we're unable to usually control outside circumstances, but we're absolutely able to modulate or regulate our nervous response. And hopefully that allows us the opportunity to kind of see things more clearly. So that's my interest in pranayama. I do think it's something that gets overlooked a bit in yoga practice, but the way that I see yoga overall is that it's a continued practice of refinement of our own nervous system and thus our own responses. So just a little bit more, when I'm engaging with my own pranayama practice, I decide what's appropriate based on a few things, like how I'm feeling, what I need, and time of day. So right now, if I'm offering this practice to other folks, I can't exactly know what you're feeling right now or what exactly it is you need, but it's noontime on a Friday. Some of you might have to jump back into work after this, kind of a thing. So I think it's a good idea to try to balance or regulate. In the kind of philosophy of body in yoga, we're to understand that there are nadis or channels in the body, which I think kind of correlate to the nervous system, not to hammer that point too hard in. The moon side and sun side for ease of simplicity. So the rest and digest and the kind of awake and active two channels. And throughout the day, and this is true, throughout the day we switch which nostril is predominantly breathing. And so one of these little life hacks that come from yoga is alternate nostril breathing, or nadi shodhana. And to me, it's very balancing, it's very regulating, and it's very appropriate for almost any time of day. So I'm going to lead us in a short nadi shodhana practice. But before I do, I want us to come into anapana, or the awareness of the breath first. So if you'd like to join me for a short practice, I encourage you to find a comfortable seated position. Oftentimes when I teach, or actually every time when I teach pranayama to beginners, I like to start laying down, but because of the nature of the practice today, it's going to be best to be seated. I'm not sure how well you can see me, but I'm sitting on top of a bolster. You're welcome to be seated anywhere. I imagine that some of you might be in the middle of your workday, so sitting at a desk is totally fine. I would just make sure that your back is straight if you're sitting on a chair and that your legs are uncrossed, both feet on the floor. So that's just kind of the neutral chair sitting posture. For me, I'm sitting in Yoni-asana or Siddhasana, so I like my knees a little wider. That gives me a bit of a wider base. Then wherever you are, however you are, I'd like you to close your eyes if that feels okay, or just soften your eyelids a bit so that your gaze softens. So instead of staring intently at anything, you're kind of allowing a little kind of foggy cloudiness in your vision. Then just become aware of the tippity bottom of your tailbone, the kind of 3 prongs of tailbone, and the ischial tuberosities, or the sitting bones. Then that as the root, allow your spine to be tall, kind of blossoming up to the crown of your head. Then from that tall, straight, kind of central channel, can you allow any ease kind of around that support of the spine? So can you soften any amount your face, your throat? Can you broaden your chest, your upper back? Can you soften arms and hands? Allow a little bit of relaxation in the belly, and soften all the way down to the base of the body, the pelvic floor. Good. As you breathe, as you soften here, I encourage you to become aware of your body breathing. So just notice the rise of your inhale, fall of your exhale. Expansion of inhale, contraction of exhale. So again, to begin, we're just starting in Anapana, just awareness of the breath. Start noticing whether your breath is moving quickly or slowly, whether it's deep or if it's shallow, whether it's choppy or if it's smooth. And then start to notice where in your body you feel your breath most vibrantly. So is your breath in your belly? Is it up in your chest? Is it somewhere else? Something I notice for myself is that in times of, if I'm kind of focusing on things outside of myself, or if I'm feeling any amount of stress, one of the first indicators for me is that my breath becomes more shallow and chest focused. So it's not a bad thing, you haven't done anything wrong, but if you're noticing that, just start to invite your breath a little deeper into your belly. So like a few inches south of your navel. We'll take just a few steady breaths here. So not much technique, just breath awareness layered with a little bit of modification, a little bit of control. So deep inhalations, hey Natalie, into your low belly. So we're just starting with a little bit of breath awareness, a little bit of regulation. And after another 2 or so steady, full breaths, we're going to initiate the practice of Nadi Shodhana, or the alternate nostril breathing. So you might be familiar already, but we do tend to use a mudra, Vishnu Mudra, for this practice, this technique. And so the convention is to use the right hand, and the 2 peace sign fingers, index finger and middle finger, touch the palm. And that leaves us with this kind of pinky finger, ring finger on one side, and thumb on the other side. I always think of it like a claw, if I have any cancers in the zodiac out there. So this the reason for this is it's, the 2 fingers together are kind of skinny, and the thumb's a little wider, so it offers about the same width, and which feels pretty normal on each nostril. So from your seated position, I encourage you to fit your little claw over your nose, so it's just right over the kind of crease of the nostrils, both of them. And when you're ready, I want you to just practice kind of gently closing the left nostril, and then relax and gently close the right. So we don't need to squeeze or really press too hard. Then because it's noontime, because we probably all have stuff to do after for the kind of conventional reasons, I want us to start by breathing in through the right nostril. So please just gently kind of close the left nostril, breathe in through the right, close right, breathe out through left. In through the left, please. Close left, out through the right. Breathe in right, close it, breathe out left. Breathe in left, close it, breathe out right. Breathe in right. We'll do that about 2 more times, back and forth, please. So please end breathing in through the left and out through the right. And then once you finish that, I'd like you to release the technique, release the mudra, both hands down, head situated, over the tailbone. So we're still in our nice tall posture. And just do nothing for a few moments. Just be aware of any shift, anything that comes up. I'd like us to repeat this, but we're going to layer in a little bit more. So if you're still with me, I encourage you to once again take on Vishnu Mudra. Pinky and ring finger on the left nostril, thumb to the right. Again, we'll start by gently closing left nostril, breathe in right. Cover right, breathe out left. Breathe in left, cover, breathe out right. Good. So I'll let you continue a few more times on your own. It's challenging for me to tell you when to breathe. Our lung capacities are different. There's a lot of factors here. So continue on your own, say 1 or 2 more times. And then I offer you just a little bit of alivening, awakening sensation. Next time you breathe in, pause with both nostrils covered just for a moment. Then breathe out the opposite side. So breathe in, cover both, pause just for a second or so, breathe out. We'll do that a couple more times. Breathe in and out, adding that little pause in the middle. And after the next time you breathe out through the right nostril, once again, release. Just kind of let go, hands to your lap, body tall. And again, with both eyes closed, just take some recovery or restorative breath. So steady, even breath through both nostrils, bringing that attention and awareness of the breath into the low belly. Now I have 1 more round planned, so if you want to stick around for 1 more round, I'd love to have you. We'll use the same technique, but I'm going to direct your awareness into a slightly different, or more refined kind of visual, I suppose. So please, once again, take on your Vishnu Mudra. Yes. And place your fingers to your nostrils, as we've done. Again, I'd like us to start with the right nostril. Cover both, breathe out left, and repeat to the opposite side. Now, before we include that pausing, I just want you to continue breathing in this way and start to envision your breath as kind of originating a few inches south of your nostrils. So as you breathe in, the breath kind of moves up from below the nostril to the point between the eyebrows. As you breathe out, it moves down below the opposite nostril. So breathing in moves up to the point between the eyebrows. Breathing out moves down to its origination point. It's almost like a triangle that starts below the nostril, culminates at the point between the eyebrows, and releases back. I like to think of my breath as kind of cool, silvery energy or light in this context. Now I encourage you here to commence or recommence adding the pause. So breathe in, upward to point between the eyebrows, pause, holding both nostrils lightly closed, and then breathe out. Breathe in, up to the point between the eyebrows, breathe out down the other side. So this kind of cool, silvery light, or however you conceive of your own breath, your own prana, starting south of the nostril, arising to Agni chakra, and then descending. We'll take several more rounds just like this, please. Starting to allow for a kind of broadening or a widening of this point between the eyebrows. Whatever sensation or awareness starts to sparkle from this place is welcome. And after the next time you breathe out through the right, once again, I encourage you to descend the mudra, place your hands to your lap or wherever they're comfy. And again, allow your breath to come more into that restorative space, that just gentle, easy breath through both nostrils together. And as you breathe here, you might be aware that your attention and focus still remains on that silvery or cool or whatever type of sensation arises through the nostrils, kind of blossoms at the point between the eyebrows. Just settle your awareness here. And spend just another few moments in silence. And after another exhale, I welcome and encourage you to lower your chin towards your chest. Blink your eyes open and lift your gaze. Good. So that's a pretty short little practice of Nadi Shodhana, so alternate nostril breathing. And again, this is something that I think it fits just about any time, any circumstance. If you found it challenging at all, just know that like any other practice, it gets more intuitive the more that we give ourselves the opportunity to play with it. I think that's all that I have for you here and now. I'm wishing everybody a wonderful rest of your day. And again, my name's Chelsea. I'm teaching a workshop that deals with breath practice, pranayama, this Saturday, so tomorrow, April 2nd, as well as first Saturdays of the month, scheduled pretty much through the rest of the year. So I might pop in for some more stories here on Room to Breathe's website. Otherwise, I'll hope to connect with you anyway. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, thank you, Laurel, for sticking it out with me. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. See everybody later.